I'm a truckin' across the USA. Yeah, I'm truckin' just about every day. Yeah, I'm truckin'. So what you got to say? I'd like to hear it today. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd like to hear it today. Trucker John OTR. Tuesday, Thursday, live streaming on YouTube, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Won't you join me, please? Hello, my name is John Fowler. Who's in the house? Who is it? Jolie, my one and only. I'm having breakfast. Yeah, you caught me. I'm just eating breakfast. Hence the title of the show. Let's have breakfast together, I think I said, right? Let me just put this on here. So I didn't send out any notifications. I was running late as per usual. And so here I am, brought to you like a hurricane. So I slept pretty good last night. Maybe that's the problem. I just slept too good, man. But I was on the, last night I was playing CSR2, my little game I like to play. Jolie knows about that. Jolie's a team member, crew member. And they have seasons. It's like 14-day season. So last night was the last night of the season. And and the way they ended, it's like at 3 o'clock in the morning or something, Pacific time. And I try to stay there as long as I can, just so I can see the latest point totals and, just see where it is. And also keep an eye on whoever has 0 points at the end of the season. I boot them out, right? And last night there was 2 people that still had 0 points. So I'm trying to give them, all the way to the end. I think there was still like a half hour to go, and I went ahead and deleted or removed those bottom 2 people that had 0 points. So, yeah, Jolie was on there. Got a little bit of a wild card. That's another thing. I got to work out the wild cards. This season that we just finished was probably the worst as far as communicating or getting communication back and getting feedback back from people. Usually I can usually get something coordinated where I can get, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 people to show up. But this time, I don't know, seems like no one was really saying, yeah, I'll be there and would log on at a certain time and everything.
So I don't know. I might have to reevaluate that whole system. Maybe just not even worry about it and just let people just activate it or whenever they want, you know. But that gets frustrating for other people who are, waiting. I got this omelet at Denny's, and I said easy jalapenos, and I think they bloated it. I think they put extra jalapenos. That's what I'm choking on right now, and I'm out of water. I was gonna buy some water. All I have Pepsi, and I had my coffee. But anyhow, so you get to watch me eat, or I could turn the camera around and you could watch the trucks go by. I am in beautiful Dunnigan. It's called Dunnigan. Yeah, Julie, I thought about that because there are. I've seen other teams that they'll like. They're actually, recruiting. They go into the main chat and they're recruiting for drivers, and they'll say, we have like WhatsApp. I guess it's WhatsApp, and what's the other one? There's 2 or 3 other ones that are like sort of the major ones. And I Kenneth Auto, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for that like. So, I guess I could try that. Try to direct people to the Discord page. See how that works. But anyhow, so I got here at Dunnigan last night. I picked up the load down in Tracy, California, and I'm on my way back up to Washington. And this is about as far as I made it in my hours that I had left. So now I've got just under 10 hours available today. I'm running on what's called recap hours now. I'll probably get to Washington tomorrow, and then if I don't get a load right away, then that'll give me at least I'll get an opportunity to do what's called a reset, where if I go into off-duty status, non-driving, non-working status for 34 hours, then my clock essentially will just start fresh. It'll give me a fresh 70 hours. So that'll be probably, unless I get lucky and get a load, and then I can just run on what's called recap hours. So it's sort of like you just recycle your hours like from 7 days prior. So like for mine, it's just showing like I'll be getting 7 hours 37 minutes back tonight at midnight. So my recap hours are kind of short because then I've got a 6:33 and an 8:40. Those are the hours I'll be every day will come back to me, and whatever you don't use, it will combine with that. So like, let's say I've got 9 hours 57 minutes today. Let's say I only use 8, so that means I carry over an hour and 57 minutes plus that 7:37. So that's 8:37. That's almost 9.5 hours that I'll have for tomorrow, and so on and so forth and so on. So I guess Kenneth just came in and left. Are the hearings on? Is everybody watching the hearings? Are the Jan 6 hearings starting? Is that my competition for the day? Well, that's okay, because as soon as I eat this breakfast, I'm going to hit the road. So I ordered an omelet at Denny's online. It's pretty good. So I get this a lot. It's the build your own omelet. I get cheddar cheese, bacon, mushrooms, and then I've been starting this thing. Well, I've been doing it for a while now, but where I put jalapenos, and I always say easy jalapenos because I don't want like a billion jalapenos on it. And actually, the amount that they put on it looks like it's pretty good. I just happened to catch one that was really hot. Uh-oh. It says I went offline for a second, but I guess I'm back. I guess I'm back. So anywho, I'm in California. It looks really nice. It's gonna be like an 88-degree day or 90 degrees. It's been hovering right around the upper 80s and hitting right around 90s. So here we are in October. Of course, Octobers can always be, or not always, but a lot of times are warm. We have warm Octobers out here in California. We might be running a bit above average though. But we have, I can remember many October that, you know, they call it the Indian summer or whatever. But usually by the time we get into, say, Halloween, at the end of the month, it should usually starts cooling down and it gets more fall-like. But the beginning of October through the mid-October, it could be pretty warm still. We'll see how it goes this year. Things are a little more unpredictable nowadays with the weather. Just never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. So I've been anybody remembers, you know, I use a CPAP machine at night when I sleep, and for a long time, or for like the last, I don't know, few months, I've been getting, because every night it'll give you a score. That's because it's hooked up to a machine, right? And since I'm a truck driver, I have to have it hooked up to this machine, and it does all these different readings, and then it sends it to a monitoring company that works for Schneider, or Schneider, you know, they contract with Schneider, and they let Schneider know that you're in compliance, that you're using the thing, and it keeps track of your scores, and it gives you like a daily score. And you know, like 100 was like a perfect score, and I think you need to get at least 70. If you start getting things under 70, and it's night after night after night, I don't know how many nights, but then they'll start calling you and they'll start saying you're out of compliance or whatever, or there's something, you know, they'll try to figure out what's wrong with the machine or what's going on, right? Well, for a few months, I started getting, and I'm usually in the 90s, and I'll get a lot of hundreds, you know, and oh, cool. I'm just reading your post, Jolie. that little Dan met up with Kid Otto and they had lunch. That's great. I'll have to check out that pic. Yeah, I remember little Dan saying last week they were going on vacation. I don't know if they went. I guess I don't think they went to. I don't think it was Disney World. It was someplace else, right? Yeah, like a timeshare or something. But so I'm doing this CPAP, and I've been getting all these scores like in the 80s, which is still passing and still, it'll keep you in compliance. And then they didn't call me. It wasn't. I guess the score isn't low enough where they start actually calling you, but they start sending me like emails and stuff saying, "Is there something wrong with your equipment? Or do you need to buy new equipment or what?" Because they also try. It's the same company that sells you the shit too, right? So I pretty much just ignored it. I'm like, I'm good, whatever. And then, I mean, this has been going on for like months, where I've been getting these scores like in the 80s, instead of, I'm usually around 100 or 100 exactly. And finally, it occurred to me that because I have this like, it's a harness thing, goes around your head, and then this big mask fits on your face, and it's got these straps, and it's kind of thing, and it just kind of occurred to me that the thing was getting loose, and I hadn't really retightened it or anything since I got the thing, probably. Because I was thinking I'm probably gonna have to buy a new, headset thing or whatever. And I probably should buy one anyhow, just as a backup. But I finally figured out, well, just tighten it. So I just took the straps. It's kind of a Velcro thing, and I just on each side, I just kind of like gave it a good tug, tightened it, Velcroed it back down, and then that was like last week. I did that, and immediately I started getting back up to 100, perfect scores. And so I had like a string of like 4 or 5 nights in a row of 100. And then I've had, everything's been in the 90s, like upper 90s, and so that's good. But all I had to do was just, tighten the straps. Cocoa, Florida, that's good. Or, this omelet was pretty good. A lot of people, they really put down Denny's and they really hate Denny's. I've been eating at Denny's for 10 years now. Well, longer than 10 years, of course. But it seems like, as a truck driver, Denny's has been one of my main restaurants. And I think they're perfectly fine. I don't know why people want to put down Denny's. Last night, I kind of splurged. I don't normally eat, a big steak dinner. But last night I just felt like I hadn't had a steak dinner in a long time. So I got the T-bone steak, and I loved it. I'd say 9 times out of 10, Denny's T-bone steaks are great. Every now and then you get one. Maybe the cook wasn't good, or I don't know, you had a bad cut of meat or whatever, but I'd say 9 times out of 10, I'm very, very happy with the T-bone steaks at Denny's. And last night was no exception. It was very good. I was watching my Dodgers lose. I figured I'm going to have a T-bone steak while I watch this game. But they lost. So now we need to rebound. I got the day off. I go down to San Diego tomorrow. And there will probably be more Dodger fans in the stands than there are Padre fans. So I'm not worried about home field advantage at all. It's practically, it's like a 90-mile drive from LA to San Diego. Most of these guys probably live somewhere between LA and San Diego anyhow. It's almost like a home game. And I bet there's going to be, I bet there'll be at least 20 or 25,000 Dodger fans in that stadium. So, maybe more. So I'm not worried about home field advantage for that. Jolie says, I fucking love Denny's. No one ever wants to eat there with me. I know. Like my kids. They think I'm joking. Like when I'm home with them and we go out to eat, I'm like, hey, let's go to Denny's. And they're like, yeah, right. They're like, we're not going to Denny's, you know. I don't know what it is, why Denny's has such a bad reputation. I mean, granted, it's no Red Lobster, you know, or whatever, but for being a diner, I think it's better than IHOP. You know, I mean, I like IHOP. I don't mean to bash IHOP. I like their pancakes. I like IHOP, but I think, you know, Denny's is just as good. So this is the Feeding My Face show. I was getting hungry. I feel a little groggy today. I guess I'd stay up kind of late on CSR2. I didn't really realize. I remember I was trying to get some races in, and I was actually falling asleep as I was racing. Have you ever done that? Where like you start the race, and then you wake up and like the race is over. And the funny thing is, sometimes I still win the race. Sometimes I lose, but yeah. And I'm like, oh man, and I actually have a dream. So it's funny. I can actually fall asleep. I can start the race awake, fall asleep, have a dream, and these races are only like 7 or, you know, depending on the race, 10, 12 seconds. Sometimes only 7 or 8 seconds. But I can actually sleep, have some sort of a dream, and wake up and then see the race at the end. Or sometimes I'll wake up and the race is still going on. And I'm like, oh, hit the gear. You've done that too, Jolie? Where you fall asleep when you're racing, and you're like, and then I did that like last night, like I don't know, a few times, and then I was like, I gotta shut this thing off, you know. So I finally did. I don't even know what time it was. I think it was after 2. It had to be after 2. I don't know. And that's why I kind of slept in. I ended up waking up at, because I usually don't set an alarm unless I absolutely positively have to be up at a certain time, and I usually just wake up on my own at like, you know, who knows, could be anywhere from 6 a.m. to, you know, 7 or something. And I woke up at 7:40 this morning, and then of course, you know, I go on, check out all these notifications on all the social media things and all the things. Then I started playing some CSR2. Next thing I know, it was like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get going, man. I gotta start the show. Yeah. I've done that. You wake up, it's just like winding out. It's like or something, you know. You're like, oh, lost that one. That truck is going the wrong direction. That's not the way you're supposed to go. What's he doing? I guess he's checking out his truck. But if some other truck comes around that doesn't see that he's parked like that, could cause a bit of a situation. I don't know if he's did that so he could put air in his tire, but you know he could have done it the other way. Well, he's pulling up now. He's the backwards guy. The backwards guy does everything backwards. He's the backwards guy. Alrighty, so, oh man, what a show today. Oh, right? Am I right? What a fantastic show today. See, I usually eat breakfast before the show, and you don't see all this, but this is like a bonus. This is like a bonus show today. Get to see the whole thing, man. Now I'm down to the toast. Yep, toast and jelly. I like strawberry jelly. What was that? That was my dash cam waking up, apparently. My dash cam is saying, "Good morning, John." My dash cam saying, I slept in too. You're not the only one who was up late last night. I was up last night checking out all these fine looking trucks. Yeah, baby. That was I guess that's how my dash cam sounds. It's like, hey, John. So, okay, so what's going on in the world today? We got is Jan 6 going on today? And I heard something about Donald Trump is being deposed on that E. Jean Carroll rape case. It sounds interesting, but he'll probably just like won't say anything. You know? He'll just sit there like a lump on a log. I like coffee. I like coffee. I like toast. I like coffee. I like it the most. It's good. I got a good blend today of Colombian coffee. I get the Colombian. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, it's just every little sip. Every little sip drives me wild. Every little sip. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Aging Carroll. Okay. He's gonna skate on that too. Apparently. Elections are less than a month away, people. I hope you're all registered and ready to go. If you're in a place where early voting has started, you should vote. And you know, I vote blue. I vote Democrat. You can vote for whoever the fuck you want to vote for. But I'm just telling you, if you're not a multi-millionaire and you're not voting for a Democrat, then you're voting against your own best interest. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Here it comes. Pilot coffee. They say it's the best coffee on the interstate. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. I'll just leave it at that. So here I am at the Pilot. You can see the beautiful Pilot. They've remodeled recently. They do that a lot. Over the last few years, they go through these remodeling projects, which is nice. You know, keep it fresh. This one has a Wendy's in it. And then right next door, to the left, is Denny's. So that's always nice. If there's a Denny's or a restaurant, if you're staying at a truck stop, you know, and you don't have to just eat the truck, what's inside the truck stop. And then across the street, they built a whole big deal with a bunch of, like, there's a Starbucks and a Taco Bell, and there's, you know, a gas station with a mini mart, and I forget what else was over there. I think there's another fast food place. So now there's all kinds of variety at this particular stop. But I've never walked over there, to tell the truth. Hey, Jeannie Shannon, or Jeannie. Thanks for being here. Lisa B is there. Hey, thank you, Lisa B. I'm doing good. How are you? And so Jeannie says it's not about the party, although Democrats don't give a blank about farmers. I don't know. I can remember a day when farmers used to be Democrats. Believe it or not. I don't know if that's true about the Democrats not caring about farmers. I really don't know if that's exactly true. I'd have to look into that more, but I think that I think Democrats love farmers. I don't see why they wouldn't. Why wouldn't a Democrat love a farmer? There's a lot of Democrats that are farmers. I mean, is it because what you? I mean, I don't know. But what is the issue? Is it about? Is it about subsidies? Is it about bank loans? What is the issue that farmers have with Democrats? Educate me, Jeannie. That's what we're here for. Educate me. I'd like to know. What is the gripe that farmers have with Democrats? Too long to write. Can you give me a bullet point? Can you give me just a what are the right wing talking points? I'll even take that for right now. Yeah, I don't need a book, you know, but maybe some talking points, maybe some bullet points. And the reason I want to know is that I can look it up and I can say, hey, Jeannie was right. I'm going to start talking about this more. I'm going to start finding out more about this issue, and I'm going to start asking my Democratic representatives, why are you doing this? Why are you fucking the farmers over so much? Jeannie Shannon says you guys are fucking the farmers over, and I believe her. She's, you know, I'll look it up and I'll find out, and I will become an advocate for the farmer. Okay. So I understand if you don't want to write, that's fine. I'll look into it. I'll get my crack research team. Well, this is the bed, but okay, whatever. I'll get my best people on it, and I will find out about that. About because out here in my trucking life, I've talked to some farmers before, and I gotta say, the ones I've talked to, they are probably the typical Republican in that they don't want to pay any taxes. They just bitch about taxes. I guess what everyone bitches about is taxes. And apparently there are people in this world that think that you should not pay any taxes, and that somehow you're going to run a country that is 3,000 miles wide by 2,000 miles high and has about 350 million people spread all through it, and that you're somehow going to have an infrastructure, and you're somehow going to have roads and highways and fire departments and police departments, and you're going to have you know, national security and everything else somehow for free. I don't know. I guess it's just magically going to happen. Because the number one bitch that I hear about from Republicans is they don't want to pay any taxes, and they think the Democrats are going to make them pay more in taxes. When actually Democrats are for a graduated, tax bracketed, or progressive tax system where the more you make, the more you pay. That's what Democrats believe in. What Republicans believe in is that the rich, the top 1% should pay, they would like to be absolutely nothing, and that everybody else has to pay for it, for that tax break. All of us down here that make 50 grand a year and 80 grand a year or 75 grand a year, we're the ones that have to pay for the rich to get their tax cuts. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I don't mean to chase anybody off or be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. At least most of the farmers of us are all, yeah, they've all switched. I think way back in the day, I'm talking way back, I think farmers were Democrats. I think since Reagan, it's all switched, it's all flipped. Farming is not like a normal business. Yeah, I know, it's not. And I'm not a farmer, but I've been out, I've picked up loads, I've picked up hay and alfalfa and other agricultural type of things. I've picked up potatoes out here and everything up in Washington and Oregon, and I've had some conversations here and there, and they all pretty much have turned into since Reagan, since the Reagan Revolution. They're all living in the 40-year past of the Reagan Revolution, where they think that, you know, I don't even, what do they think? They believe in trickle down. I guess they believe in trickle down economics, which does not work. It has not worked. It's been proven not to work. It doesn't trickle down to us, what working folks. It stays there. The money that they do get up there, I'm talking about the uber rich, you know, the really huge corporations, not the little mom and pop corporations. I have a corporation. I'm not a big corporation, but you know, I'm talking about the huge 1/10 of 1%, and even the 1 and 2%ers are probably, you know it, but where they the money isn't trickling down. They spend a lot of their whenever they get any type of profits and things, they buy back their stocks. The stock buybacks. That's how they prop up their companies, through stock buybacks, and they give their executives huge multi-million-dollar bonuses. That's where their money goes. Doesn't go down to us. Now, I know there's a lot of farmers that are just working people. They're not huge corporations, but they act like, or they follow the party that is for the top 1%. Really not for them. But anyhow, so Jolie says that's what my MAGA dad always talks about. Tax is like saving a few bucks is worth tossing democracy out of the door and allowing Republicans to run the government like a theocracy. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. I know. That's MAGA for you. And then, okay, so beef cattle. Jeannie Shannon says, beef cattle operations major income only comes in once or twice a year. Beef cattle operations, yeah, when they do the roundups and they take them to auction, or they take them, or they've already sold them to a big slaughterhouse, right? I guess. I picked up meat too out of Kansas, and where's Kansas? In Dodge City, I picked up out of there. I picked up at a few of those big giant slaughterhouse places. The farmer I know this is Lisa B. The farmer I know is a hard worker, in his mid-60s, built like a 21-year-old. He's buff from all the hard work, or from all the work. Yeah, they work their asses off, motherfucker. They do. They work their butts off. That's what Lisa B said. I said they work their asses off, and then before I read that, so we're like kind of thinking the same thing. Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work, man. And I think there is a distinction to be made between the, you know, like a small independent rancher or farmer, and then the big, you know, the big giant super corporation ones. It's kind of a whole different ball game, I think. You know what I mean? But and so let's say the ownership of was it ConAgra or even Tyson Foods or wherever, you know, those are big giant corporations, and of course they're going to be probably more apt to back a, you know, a Republican president or Republican representatives. But you know, the guy, the family farmers, the family ranchers, I don't really know what their problem it would be with Democrats. I don't know, and that's just some sort of buying into the, you know, the arguments, the talking points You know, I think their beefs, no pun intended, would be with the banking industries probably more, right? So Jolie says my great uncle has a farm in Kentucky. He's 90 and still working his ass off. Is he buff though? And he votes blue. All right, awesome. Lisa B, yeah, up here they are small guys, family farms. Where you at, Lisa B? I forget. Are you upstate New York? I remember you told me, or I heard it somewhere, just in the chats over time. But I forget now where you're at. Or are you in Canada? Illinois. Oh, okay, you're in Illinois. 1 hour from Chicago, so you're south. Oh, northern Illinois. Boy, my guessing game is really off today. I've been through Illinois. I've been through all of Illinois, yeah. And I know if you go south of Chicago, that's all country. Lots of farmland and spread out places down there. Yeah, and once you get out of the city and you start heading, I guess, towards Wisconsin and stuff like that, it gets all rural and farmland out there. But anyhow, I mean, people are going to vote for whoever they vote for. They're going to be, and if they are into politics and into a party politics, is what this is. We basically have two major parties, and so they're going to, be who they're for, and I just hope that everybody, we just get good, truthful information, and so we can make our own decisions based on that, based on the truth, based on good intel, and then you can, and then vote for whoever you want. But I just hope people don't just base it on crap they hear on Fox News or whatever. I mean, I guess you got to say, consider the sources, consider your sources. Try to verify things. Try to get more than just one source. Try to cross-reference and things and cross-check things. And make so you can make a good decision on who you vote for. And I always say, I do say a lot, like, vote blue no matter who. And I know that sounds really bad maybe to some people, especially who aren't Democrats. It sounds like to be mindless and not to be at least mindful, or not to think, or to just unthinkingly vote. And so maybe I should stop saying that, because it's like, I don't mean it like that. What I mean is, I mean that in the terms of numbers, of the numbers game. If you look at the way our Congress is made up, and in even probably all of the state legislatures are like that too, where the majority party is the one who gets to run the show, whether it's the U.S. Congress or whether it's your state houses, your state Congress, your state legislatures. The majority party, they run the show. They set up the committees. They bring with the bills and the things up to the floor. So that's why it's very important to have, if I'm a registered Democrat, which I am and I have been my whole life, then to me it's important that we have those majorities. And if you're a Republican, it would be important for you to want Republicans to have the majority, right? So that's why I say vote blue no matter who, because basically the Republican, if you're a registered Republican, you're going to vote for Republicans probably 99% of the time, right? And I'm a registered Democrat, and as a registered Democrat, I can tell you I've never voted for a Republican in my life. I have voted for some other off races or other thing. I have voted for like some independent third party people every now and then, but I would say probably 99.9% of the time, I voted for Democrats, and always for president and for like senators and U.S. representatives. I've always voted for Democrats, because I'm a registered Democrat and I believe in the party, so that's what I'm going to vote for. If you're a registered Republican, you should believe in your party, and that's who you're going to vote for. I don't blame you for that. But I guess, I mean, there is a big sort of, I don't know if wishy-washy is the word, but there is a big middle of people who either aren't registered, they don't affiliate, they call themselves independents, whatever, that they're not affiliated with a party or whatever, right? So I guess those are the ones that when I say vote blue no matter who, I guess I'm trying to tell them that it's important about the who has the majority. But maybe it doesn't come across that way. It just comes across as being like I'm just saying, oh, just don't think, just be a follower, don't look, just blindly go and vote for blue. And that probably doesn't sound right. So I guess I should stop saying that. I should just come up with some other. But vote blue no matter who. It has a rhyme. It's a nice rhyme to it. And if you're a registered Democrat, it should be a reminder not to. If you're a registered Democrat, you should not be voting for Republican. I tell you that for sure right now. Otherwise, you should just tear up your Democratic card, your registration card, and you should go over and just sign up with Republican. In my humble opinion. But so I guess for the people that are really not affiliated, they're unaffiliated, they say they're independents or whatever, that's the group of people that really decide the election. Because pretty much Democrats are going to vote for Democrats, Republicans are going to vote for Republicans, if you're registered in those parties. Pretty much, right? At least 90% of the time, I bet. It's the people in that middle, or I don't know if you call them middle or whatever, but the people who are not affiliated with the party, or they vote third party, or they whatever, and that group is actually, I think, bigger than both the other, the two major parties combined, probably. So that's the people I guess everyone's fighting for, trying to sway them to their way or that way, and a lot of those people don't even vote. They're not interested. So you got to find the ones that are interested in voting, and then that winnows down, and then it's like, okay, how can we convince them to vote for us? I guess voting blue no matter who is not, maybe that doesn't work, because it's like, fuck you, I'm independent. I'm an independent. I don't just vote blue. I don't. And they would say this. Hopefully, they would probably say the same if you said vote red until you're dead or whatever. I don't know. So it has to be issues oriented. It has to be. We have to talk about the issues. It should always be about the issues. But I guess vote blue no matter who is just it's a quick bumper sticker type of thing. It's a lot quicker than talking about a policy position, I guess. So. Okay, so I'm there's some stuff in the chat that's going on that I want to address, because I've been seeing it fly by, but I didn't. So let's see. There's Jillian, her uncle. Small guys are Illinois. Yeah, Lucy B from Illinois, Northern Illinois. Jeannie Shannon, paying farm managers is a waste of time and money. Okay, I don't know anything about that. The government hates family farms. Jolie says, I'm definitely a vote blue no matter who believer. Me too. Vote red till you're dead. You like that one, huh, Jolie? So Jeannie Shannon says, paying farm... Oh, no, I don't care about that. I don't understand that. But the other one, the government hates family farms. Is that a Democratic thing or a Republican thing? Or is it both? Or does it matter? Who's trying? And I'm asking this not. This is not like rhetorical. I don't think. Because I don't know the answer. If I knew the answer, usually to be a rhetorical question is you know the answer and you're just asking anyhow, just to because that's your rhetoric, just to, I guess, have conversation, right? I really don't know this the answer to this. Like, and like I said, this is something I should look into more. Um, is this about the thing about government hating family farms? Is that just all? Because the government is run by political parties, basically. When you say government, unless you're talking about, bureaucracies and things, um, but when it comes to an issue like farming, it it is legislation, and there could be banking legislation and uh, financial and loan institution things that, and all of those things are governed and are by laws. And so, what laws are being put forth, and who is influencing the lawmakers? And if it's big ag that have big lobbyists in Washington D.C., then therein lies the problem. I think and the small family farmer is getting snubbed and getting pushed out, right? And so once again, this goes to the issue of money and politics. And how do we get it out of politics? Well, the Republicans aren't going to get money out of politics because they're all about money in politics. The only chance I see of ever having any type of like campaign finance reform and public financing of elections and things like that is by getting Democrats more and more in the majorities. But the Democrats, they use money also. They take corporate money also. And so, even though there are a lot of them that would, like Bernie Sanders, who's not really a Democrat, but say I think even Elizabeth Warren, there is a growing, progressive faction in the Democratic Party that has been growing over years, over time, from a really small, little, just a few people to getting more and more people. So it just takes time that maybe someday the Democratic Party will be a majority progressive party, and they will actually be able to maybe someday get campaign finance reforms, and get big, dark money out of politics. That's always comes back to the money. It always comes back to the big, big money. And it is this sort of, circular thing that goes around. But, and I think someday it will happen. It just might not be in my lifetime. I don't know. So in the meantime, we just have to. What I do is I just keep, hoping, like Hal Sparks talks about the incrementalism, right? I don't really mind incrementalism so much as I dislike taking steps backwards. So hopefully, if we can just keep making progress, then eventually we'll get there and avoid this going back, right? Stepping back. But business versus hobby. There's hobby farming. There are people who just farm as a hobby. Well, that's like a whole different thing, right? Family farms keep you going. So Jolie says she's reading through some stuff, and it says Trump's trade wars totally fucked family farms and farming in general. Yeah, he did all this shit with China, right? Where we're in the middle of a pandemic, farmers are having a hard time, I think he made some deal with China. I don't know, was it to buy a bunch of their beef and a bunch of their stuff when he could have bought it from our own farmers? I don't know. Yeah, but so I don't think Trump did the farmers did any favors, the U.S. farmers. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that some more. So Jeannie says 87 new auditors. Why? Think about it. Oh, you're talking about the IRS hiring 87,000 new people? Okay, they're not hiring 87,000 people like right now or even this year. Just so you know, that's 87,000 that is projected out through the next, I think, 10 years. And that's to cover people retiring and people quitting, and also to add jobs because they do have a backlog from the pandemic and everything, where there was a lot of things building up. They had a lot of cases build up, I think, because they weren't able to handle everything. So I mean, yeah, that 87,000. That's like I think that's over the next 10-year period to handle. The people are going to be retiring and quitting, and in that 10 years, and also to and to add positions because they're short staffed. But that's not 87,000 that's going to start working today, or even this year, or even next year. It's going to be over time, over a 10-year period. So that's a thing to watch out for too, because I know that is a big right-wing talking point about the 87,000 IRS officers. Jolie says, so Jeannie says, yes, I know. Okay. And then Jolie says, maybe because my daughter's last tax check took 9 months for her to get, and whenever she tried to call about it, she couldn't get anyone on the phone. Maybe that's why. Yeah, they have been, I guess, short-staffed. I don't know if it was because of COVID, or if it was because they're maybe under Trump. I think they cut funding maybe to IRS, so they couldn't hire. They had, or maybe they had a hiring freeze. But whatever you think about the IRS, I don't think this is like something nefarious. I guess is my point. I don't think this is like because they were. I've heard some of these guys, like, I don't know, Hannity or whatever, try to make it out like these are going to be armed IRS agents and they're going to come to your house with guns and all that kind of stuff. They're not hiring 87,000, armed IRS agents. IRS does have a sort of like a law enforcement division where they are armed. They're like officers, and when they have to go, I guess, maybe confiscate a yacht and expensive cars from someone who's suspected of being a drug dealer and has maybe not been paying taxes, and they have all this stuff, and they might have guns there. Maybe the officers think that maybe they should carry a gun when they're trying to, carry out that order, right? So they do have I don't know how many they have. Probably a few thousand of those guys, maybe. So Julie says she had to wait that long for $4,000 she desperately needed. Ridiculous. I'm glad they're getting the IRS in order. It's not nefarious. It's just completely overdue. Yeah, yeah. But it is what I hear people on the right always, they want to go right for some sort of big, this is government overreach and they're all armed and they're coming after you. And you've heard about it with the IRS, and you've heard about it with some other agency. They were talking about, or I guess just the government buying all these bullets and stuff. And yeah, we need bullets. We have a military, and we have law enforcement and stuff. So yeah, we buy bullets. And we stock them up and we store them in ammo dumps. I've seen lots of those. I've delivered and picked up from some of those places too. I've had to get security clearances just to drive my truck into a dock. And I've had security officers on base, security officers come into the truck and go through all my shit to make sure I wasn't bringing in any weapons. So Julie says fear mongering, it's their only playbook. Jeannie says you can't say that, and I don't know. And then it says W. I don't know if you hit the send button too soon, or is there someone who's W? Is George W. Bush on here? George, are you on here? Where's W? W, where are you? I'm looking for you. Wouldn't that be cool if W was on the chat? Hey W! If W was on the chat, what would you guys say? If George W. Bush was in our chat room, what? And keep it civil. Keep it civil. Okay, so if W was on, he sees the Trucker John live stream show, and he's like, I'm gonna check him out. And all of a sudden W's on here, what would you say? I would say, here's what I would say. I would say, hey W, where's them weapons of mass destruction you were talking about? Did you ever find them? Because I don't think we ever found them. Where were they? Oh, and why did you make Colin Powell lie? I used to like Colin Powell until you made him lie so much right in front of everybody. Why'd you do that, W? That's probably what I would probably bring up those two things. What would you guys do if W was in the chat? And like I said, keep it civil. No cuss words. No hate speech, okay? Nothing? No one wants to talk to W? No one cares about W? Hey W, I heard you're a painter now. That must be nice, right? Hey W, do you at all feel guilty that Al Gore beat you in 2000, and yet you were appointed by the Supreme Court? Did you ever feel like you shouldn't have taken the presidency? That somehow you were the unrightfully placed into the highest office in the land? Or do you not give a fuck? That maybe I would ask that. I don't know. Julie says, I think I'd go with your ideas. My ideas have swear words. Okay, you can have maybe little swear words. A little bit. But I don't know. Lisa B, Julie, that's why I'm not responding. I can't without using swears. Okay, I'm lifting the rule. You can swear. All right? I just didn't want to chase him off. You know what I mean? Because if W's on here and all of a sudden you guys are like, hey, motherfucker, and then he's going to be like, oh, I better get out of here. But, I'm lifting the rule. Go at it. I have released the Kraken on George W. Bush. What would you say to him? Hey, George, thanks for crashing the economy. Thanks for losing so many jobs in the last in your second term. You know, thanks for how many millions of jobs did we lose? Thanks for that. How many people lost all their savings, lifelong savings, and lost their houses because of you? Thank you, George W. Bush. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being the crappiest president we've ever had until, well, you know who. Until the orange one showed up. And Jolie says, how about get fucked? That's my favorite House Park swear. AW, get fucked. He'd be like, I wonder, what would he say? Lisa B says, you slimy, murdering bastard. I hope you're right. Well, he's not dead yet. The father is. He's probably down there. You slimy, murdering bastard. I hope you are riding in the pits of hell. I don't. W is still alive, right? He hasn't. He's still around. But the father, HW, senior. Yeah, he's down there. He's down there. You know, burning. The father, the son, who cares? They're both assholes. Yeah, they're all crooks. Yeah, they're not good. They're not good people. No matter what people, they can't convince me otherwise. I still don't know why people voted for Reagan. I voted for Jimmy Carter. Just think if we had Jimmy Carter, if he had gotten a second term. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go down that road. I do that all the time. I always go back all the way to JFK. If Kennedy hadn't been assassinated, and then that makes my head hurt because of all the you can extrapolate from there. And if he hadn't, he would have had 2 terms, and then and then it says you just can't do it. It makes your head burn, your brain hurt, thinking of all how the world, not just the United States, but how the whole world would be different. And if we had, there's no reason why we should have had any Republicans since in the White House in my lifetimes. I was born in 1960. We should have had Kennedy, and in '68, I don't know if RFK would have ran if his brother hadn't died. I don't know if Robert Kennedy would have ran, because there is this thing about people they really don't like just dynasties, but they voted for Bush's, but maybe RFK would have ran. I don't know who would have ran. Maybe we would have had Humphrey. Maybe we would have had somebody else, but whoever it was, let's say not Nixon. So we had Kennedy, and then a Democrat for the Nixon years, and then after that, if you have Carter, and for 2 terms, and then we have see, there was an HW year in there, so because Clinton was after that 4 years, so I don't know if Clinton would have been ready to run in that first HW one. But we had shitty candidates like, was it Dukakis and these assholes? But still, if we had just a run of Democrats instead of all these fucking Republicans, I don't know, where would we be now, man? We'd be totally renewable energy. We'd be totally independent of the fossil fuels and of not needing any of that crap. Maybe we'd have $25 minimum wage. Maybe we'd have uh, maybe we would have you know I don't know, we'd have a better updated power grid with charging stations everywhere. We'd have dogs and cats living together. I don't know. It'd be much better, I'm sure. That's okay. That's okay. Lisa B says, "Dagnabbit, I'm confused. I meant the sun. Sorry, I only have one cup so far. I try not to talk because I don't know. I don't follow them. I hate them all. I believe W is a murdering bastard. But the whole family is one giant pile of dog shit." I couldn't have said that better myself, Lisa B. Jolie, Lisa B says, "Agile, I've heard of House Sparks, but don't know who that is." House Sparks, well, let me just update you. Okay, so House Sparks is a comedian, actor. I don't know if you ever heard of the show Queer as Folk. And in full disclosure, I've never seen the show. But it was very popular, I think, right in the 90s, I think, right? And I think it might have been Showtime or something. I don't think I ever had Showtime, and that's why I never watched it. It's not like I'm not watching that show, but I just never had it. And but it was very, I know it was very popular, and I knew, and I think I saw maybe clips of it here and there, and I knew that House Sparks. I remember seeing House Sparks in it, and so I remember House Sparks from that, and then you started seeing him on like Talk Soup and like those like shows, like what happened to them or whatever, the 90s shows and all that kind of stuff. And oh yeah, I guess he did that one kid show. What was that kid show? Anyhow, but I just mainly knew him from, I think, just from Queer as Folk, even though I never saw the show, and from like Talk Soup and things like that. And then he started doing, this is a long time ago, like years and years ago, like 10 years ago. He was like a regular guest on Stephanie Miller Show, which is a liberal talk show that you might not have heard of either, because those don't get much, there aren't very many radio stations that cover, liberal talk. But anyhow, he did that a lot, and I think I knew him more from that time period than anything. So anyhow, during the pandemic, he started doing live streams on YouTube regularly, like every day, right? And so I started watching him probably a year and a half ago or so, I guess. And then you find out he's a big stand-up. He does stand-up comedy. He's in these bands. He's in a Van Halen tribute band called Dirt Halen. He has another band, I think, that he always talks about. So he's a singer, a guitar player, a stand-up comic, an actor, and he's a really smart guy. I think he's a really smart guy, and he says a lot of stuff that makes sense to me. And so I know, like, Jolie watches him. He's a regular. I'm a regular watcher of Hal. And so you should check him out. He's on YouTube, usually now he's getting, as the pandemic and everything is lifting, he's getting more and more busy with lots of comedy acts and lots of his singing and stuff. But normally his show is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays, he does an afternoon show at 3 p.m. Pacific time, but usually Thursdays, 4 p.m. He pushes it out an hour. And then he started doing mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, he's not on. That's why I decided to do this show at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I thought, hey, maybe all the sparklers who are used to a 9 a.m. show and Hal's not there, maybe they'll come to the Trucker John show. But So far, just Jolie and Kenneth. Sometimes Kiki Streets. I don't see him today. Um, but um, but anyhow, uh, yeah. So Lisa B says I'll have to check him out. Jolie says Lisa B, he goes through political talking points and looks up what's true. Yeah, that's great. So he'll play a clip. So he'll play a clip from Sean Hannity or from even Alex Jones or whatever, or and Trump. He'll do Trump rally, and he'll stop it and he'll like fact check it right there. You know, boom, 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 boom. So it's a really cool format. I like it. And sometimes he's just plain silly. Jolie says, and that's true. Um, anyhow, Lisa B says I never watched the news. Can't take the negativity and overinflated drama of it all. So I'm a bit of a mushroom. I only hear of people if someone recommends a good YouTube channel. So yeah, I recommend highly Hal Sparks. Just you can just you know, search Hal Sparks in the search thing. It'll come right up. And he's on all the time, and you can just check him out. You know, it'd be great. It'd be great to see you over there in the chat. We'll say hi. If you see, say hi in the chat, and I'm sure Jolie and I will say, hey, Lisa B. Let's see, today is Thursday. I think he was supposed to be on today. I think he's coming on 4 o'clock Pacific, so it should be about, I guess about 6 o'clock your time, Lisa B. Right? You're Central? Are you Central time zone? So yeah, check him out, and I'll look for you in the chat, and I'll say hi. Yeah, I'll welcome you to the chat. I might be driving though, so a lot of times I'm just lurking because I'm driving, and I'm getting kind of a late start today, and I'll probably be driving late tonight. So yeah, speaking of late, I need to. What am I doing? I'm just gabbing away. It's a gab fest. I need to start my clock. And if I chased off Jeannie, I'm sorry. Jeannie was in here. Might not be in here now, Jeannie Shannon. I didn't mean to chase you off. Everyone's welcome here, right, left, in between. And if I got, and I don't know if you're still on here or if you'll see this later, I didn't mean to chase you off or be mean. You know, and I apologize if I sounded that way, because I do want this to be a place where everyone can voice their viewpoints and not feel threatened or, you know, anything like that. We try to be civil and open, and so if I came off a little too harsh, I apologize. You know, I don't mean to. Because like I said, I really do want this to be a place where we both sides, all sides, can just talk civilly to one another, and I'm just looking at this. I don't want to remove that. No. See, now I can't talk because I'm doing stuff over here and I can't do. But anyhow, so like I said, if I chase you off, Gina B, I'm sorry, and hopefully you'll come back. And join in on the next show. And so anyhow, I'm wearing my Oregon shirt today. No rhyme or reason to that. I'm in California, and I'm wearing my LA Dodger cap. And yeah, I'm a Dodger fan, and I'm in mourning because they lost last night. Not really in mourning. We're gonna win the series. I need to get a sticker that says like "Vote Blue" or something like that. So every time I take a drink, and boop. Anywho, Lisa B says sounds good. So yeah, we'll see you in there. Jolie, I agree. I really wanted to hear her take on farming stuff. We shouldn't be fighting with each other. We should be forcing our government to work for us, not the other way around. That's right. Um, I agree, 100%. 100%. And I'm sincere when I say I want to be educated. Like, her first thing was like, I think she said Democrats. Did she say farmers don't like Democrats, or Democrats don't like farmers, or something like that? So I want to find out why she thinks that, and why, and is this, because then it became not just Democrats; it was a government thing. Okay, so it's a government thing. What makes you think that that's just Democrats? You know, I don't know. So you know, and it comes back to messaging. They're always talking about messaging. We need to get better messaging out, I guess. Maybe Democrats who are working for farmers and trying to help farmers, they need to get that message out better. And if there are problems, then we need to point the finger at where the problem is. It's probably going to be on the Republican side, I bet you. And like I said, it always goes back to big money. Big farming, big ag has multi millions of dollars dedicated, I'm sure, to their lobbyists. And what are lobbyists? They're basically lawyers, and they get access to the representatives. Why? Because they bring money, lots and lots of money to those campaigns. And so now this is a circular thing. And then that's why we need to get big money out of politics. That's why Citizens United is a fucking travesty. I was gonna say joke, but it's not funny. There ain't nothing funny. It's a travesty. The John Roberts Court, I was gonna say, is a joke, but it's not a joke, because it is ruining our country. I mean, if you like democracy, and fairness and equality, and you know, a chance, an opportunity to have a good job and a good livelihood, and maybe some upward mobility, then it's important. These things are important. Just pretend every time I drink there's a sticker that says vote blue. But not no matter who. Just vote blue. Or something like that. Or fill in the blank. Just like, but hopefully it'll be something good, like good for Democrats. Don't in your mind, don't you dare say like, you know, let's go Brandon or whatever. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do it. I know Danny's going to do that. My cousin Danny's going to watch this video. And when I raise the cup, he's going to envision like, you know, fuck you Biden sticker. That's what he's going to do. I know. Damn it, Danny. Why do you do that? Why, oh why do you do it? Anyhow, so just looking at the chat here. Jolie says, me too, I want to know the truth. You can't handle the truth. No, I'm just saying that because of that movie. And I like how Facts Checks Live. Lisa B says, I was reading about big farms that send pigs to China. China cuts them up and sends them back here to be sold. It's all weird. Yep. Yeah, we raise the pigs here. We ship them there. They process them there and ship them back here. Yeah. Does that make sense, even financially? Um, that crazy Danny, yeah. Um, yeah, it's weird. I know I've shipped stuff, or I haven't shipped it myself, but I've picked up a 53-foot trailer full with, where they like, I guess I forget how they blow it in, or they'll fill a trailer up with like alfalfa. I guess they call it alfalfa pellets, where it's basically just alfalfa that's been all kind of ground up. Well, some of it is like little pellets, and some of it's just like ground up. And I've picked those up. It's been a while, but where you get that, and I'll take it to the port, to like Long Beach port or LA port or whatever. And then from there it goes on a cargo ship to China. So, and then this is pre-pandemic. This has been a while ago. So I guess at that time they weren't able in China to raise enough feed for their livestock. So they have to buy it here in America. So they ship the alfalfa out there, and they either are growing the alfalfa or they're making feed out of it or whatever, but for their livestock, mainly for their cows, I think. But I always thought that was kind of weird. And so now I guess instead of doing that, they're just having the livestock sent to them, you know. But then they process it and send it back. It's weird. Yeah, it's all weird. The way the money thinks, like, it's like, okay, they probably all write it all out, like, okay, to buy it here in the U.S., ship it over there, and then pay their workers over there like nothing to do all that shit, and then ship it back, even though shipping costs might be expensive. In the overall scheme of things, it might be cheaper because their labor over there is like dirt labor, right? Dirt poor or whatever. So to save a few bucks on labor charges, they'll do all this weird circuitous type of weird back and forth shit, you know. I don't know. They send dead pigs over just to be cut up, so they're not even live; they're dead, you know. Did you ever eat, Jelly says, did you ever eat popsicles in the clear plastic thing? Oh yeah, those push-up things, yeah. But only let them half freeze so they're like little slushies. That's what you're doing right now. Yeah, and then it's kind of like, then when you're done, and then there's still like that kind of syrupy stuff that's still in there, and then you're like just squeezing it out, like sucking out all the rest of the syrup that you can, because you're just like totally at this point addicted to the sugar or whatever, and so you're just like just sucking out whatever little of the blue syrup or whatever is in there. Yeah, not the push-ups, I don't think, but those are different. Yeah, those popsicle ones, but it's just like a big plastic, clear plastic kind of thing, and you just kind of open the top, and then you sort of like, you can kind of push out the thing. Yeah. Yeah, Jolie, I've had a few of those in my day. Yep. I like the blue ones. I like the purple ones. Hell, I'll even eat a red one. But they're not the push-ups. The push-ups, yeah, is like the sherbet. And I like those too, like the orange sherbet. But the thing about that, okay, I like the sherbet or whatever, but then there's something about my tongue coming in contact with like cardboard or something. There was something about that was kind of off-putting, I'd say. It's the same way like when they give you paper straws at some places now. I cannot use a paper straw It's so gross. It just makes me feel gross just thinking about it. My lips do not like paper straws. Oof. I hate it. I'm sorry about the turtles getting straws stuck up their noses with the plastic straws. I'm really sorry about that. Maybe human beings should just learn how to fucking throw away their trash better. Instead of making me have to fucking use a paper straw, right? Ugh, I hate paper straws. But anyhow, yeah, the Freezy Pops. I guess that's what it's called. Yeah, paper straws are gross. I hate it. But not here, but where is it? I've been getting paper straws a lot lately now. Like sometimes Subway has paper straws now. I guess I think it's some environmental thing, save the turtle thing. Because then, there was turtles getting straws stuck up their noses because people throw away straws at the beach. I don't know. So now I have to be subjected to a paper straw, which is disgusting and gross. But anyhow, that's the world we live in. That's the world in which we toil. Okay, so about ready to shut her down. Shut this shit show down. Today is Thursday, right? So next Tuesday, I don't know where I'll be. Who knows where I'll be? I'll save that for later. But don't forget, Tuesday, Thursday is 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm sure it'll be another riveting, just, can't miss. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss the Trucker John show. Graphic design is down. Graphic department is gone to shit. That's not good, my graphics. All right, Lisa B, thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. And just thinking here. Okay, it's Thursday. What's going on? Where am I gonna be? I haven't really got a load yet from Centralia. So who knows? Who knows where I'll be? I don't know. But yeah, the graphics are letting me down. They're letting me down. Don't let me down. Alrighty, guys. So from somewhere in America, somewhere in the United States of America, I will be there. Probably West Coast, probably one of the Western 11 states, probably Washington, probably maybe Utah or Arizona, maybe California. I don't know. I'll be someplace. I'll be around somewhere over the rainbow. And don't know what's going on with this.
Battery
tie. But
connected to.
I'm not. And I don't know why my music theme's not playing right now at the moment. It's one of my technical difficulties that's going on. I think I know. I think I might know what happened. Let's just check this. Alright, yeah. Thanks for being here on my live stream. I appreciate it. Really, really do. Might have a small audience, but it's the best damn audience, a guy like me could ever hope for. So I appreciate you being here. I'll see you next Tuesday. The good Lord willing. And if the creek ain't too high, or whatever that saying is. 9 a.m. Pacific time. I keep saying that because hopefully someday it'll sink in. So, who knows where I'll be broadcasting from? Could be a rest area along the highway. Or it could be a good old truck stop like this here pilot. It might even be the same pilot. I might even be here in Dunnigan, California next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. You just never know. Or I could be, I could be, I just might be at a Walmart parking lot. That happens. It happens. Could happen. R.I.P. Judy Tenuta. Could happen. All right. Dunnigan, California. I am out of here. Ciao, everybody.